what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another NIKKE reaction. Today we have Clickbait as requested by quite a few people, but specifically the comment that got the most likes was by this user. I think it's Churro. But anyway, Kurjo and quite a few other people, like I said, wanted me to get to this one, so I will be getting to it. And I suppose, without further ado, let's go.
Clickbait. Step in.
Ooh.
With a headline at the end.
Ooh, clean guitar to start it.
Double tap, fill in my heart. You know that I sure love it when you're calling my name.
Ooh.
Clickbait, 마치 팝업처럼. Clickbait.
Ooh, wait a minute. I already get it. I already get why people like this one the most. Ooh. And we just started. Hell yeah. Still following that, like, more appropriate, accurate K-pop sound from the last couple. It's just a great chord progression. I think that's the secret to it. Great accents. It's kind of blurring this line between K-pop and like 2010s era, like Western US pop. Or maybe just like late 2000s, early 2010s K-pop. That was a fantastic little vocal run there too. Simple, very simple. It wasn't like way over the top or anything. Didn't go like Christina Aguilera on it. Just hit the notes beautifully. Fantastic work there. All right, so obviously this one's fun. It's K-pop, it's fun. It actually reminds me a lot of that era of K-pop in like the early 2010s. It's probably not supposed to specifically, but it just does for me. It has a lot more of that bounciness, that like the optimism that existed back then that doesn't exist now. Now we have corporate hell. Anyway, it's just a different sound and I really like how it sounds. And this is kind of a weird one because for the piano and the chords being played here, they don't really ever settle into anything. I don't think that there is really a true moment of resolution in this song, which keeps everything kind of on edge the whole way through, which is something that happens a lot in K-pop. They love to keep that tension. So we kind of have this bouncing around of, I think I'll use both hands for this one because it goes from A flat minor to B flat minor and then up to E flat minor. You see immediately off that, it's just like that's where it kind of bounces back. If you want to count that as a resolution, that's kind of the most you get out of this song. But the majority of it follows these four chords of A flat minor again, then we go down to D flat, we go up to G flat, and then we settle back into that E flat minor. And that's the part of the song where it doesn't feel like it ever really resolves. But I think what's going on here is because we sit in this E flat minor, which I'm pretty sure is the tonic for this song. I didn't dig into it that deeply, but I think that's what's happening here, is because we're starting up and we end on this, that our ears kind of take that as the only option because it's where everything else is circling. It's the center point of this key. It is the key. So this tonic here is where we need to end up. And our ears kind of naturally adjust for that because music theory is a fucking gift from the abysmal gods themselves, and nobody really understands how it works, but sometimes it just does, and we have to take it at face value. So this is very fun for like a chord progression because there's not really a settle in there, and like I mentioned earlier, that doesn't really happen in this song. And I think that the way that this song ends is kind of cheating a little bit. Like in a good way, it's a good way to end the song, but it cheats the chords a smidge at the end. So we get this G flat goes down into this E flat minor, and we kind of go, and we end on this high note. So it kind of like cheats it by going, and like that would normally be a part of the A flat minor, but we don't want this in there because that's what makes this entire chord feel like it's hanging on something, you know? So we don't want that there. So instead of that, we just bypass it and we end up on this higher note here, and that works very, very well. I don't entirely know how they ended up landing on that as the answer, but between Cosmograph and Corbin, I think that they're smart enough to figure this shit out and like how to end on that, because again, you don't want to end on this because that sounds like it's hanging on to something, and also even if you were to split that off to the A flat standard, that wouldn't really land right either. It has to be... But I think stepping it up to that E flat is a very smart idea, given that the tonic and the key of this song, I'm pretty sure, is in E flat minor. It's another reason that I think that this song is in E flat minor, because we have that E flat there and it ends in that E flat. So it's just that solidifying moment. Most songs like to end on their tonic unless it's trying to hang on something and make that part of the story. For this song, we're just ending a song. It's a K-pop track, you need it to end. So it just works in that way, and I love that they kind of cheated having that in there. It's just a really cool aspect of this song. And there's a bunch of other cool stuff about this song. Like I mentioned, that vocal run, I really like that. That's what happens there. I thought for a while that it was, but I think it skips that and goes down for the final run there. It just sounds beautiful. It's obviously within the key. It's playing all the same notes that we kind of sit on already. It's just, it feels so good. This is the factor of like, can you make a song feel good? And for me, this song feels so good. I completely understand why this is people's favorite. I do think personally I like Be My Star a little bit more just for my own taste here, but this is still an amazing song. And for me, in a lot of ways, kind of nostalgic, because that era of K-pop is when I first started getting introduced to K-pop. This sort of sound is very nostalgic to me because of that, and I just really like everything that he was doing in the production. For me, this production's also really decent as well. Like, the other ones were also really decent. I still have my bias for Be My Star, but I also think Accelerate has a little bit more of like an extra punch to it that just feels so good in the mix and master. For this one, we're just kind of in the middle of very decent. I'm not calling it bad by far. It is an amazing mix, and they really just nailed this sound. I think that Cosmo and Corbin just sat down and were like, we need to listen to a bunch of K-pop and do exactly what they do and make sure that we get this right, because if we don't, our fan base is going to eat us alive, and they probably would have if they failed. They did not. I love K-pop. I have for many years, well over a decade at this point, probably close to 2. It's just beautiful. It's so much fun, you know? I love the energy that it brings and all the groups and their individuality, and I think that TT Star, as a result of them paying attention to all of this and giving them their own identity, adds to that. Sure, they had the original one, All Eyes on Me, was kind of more what they think K-pop would sound like in this world, but the rest of these have been very much their own identity of K-pop within the expectation of K-pop, and I appreciate that just as much. They make everything sound so good. Like, if you were to throw any of these other songs onto a radio in the middle of a bunch of other K-pop stuff, nobody would know. People would just assume this is a debut of a new group. They wouldn't really assume anything else, and to a way it kind of is. So it just works out in that way, and it just feels so good. They really got this down, and I wonder if they're going to come back to K-pop stuff in NIKKE for that reason. I feel like they focused so much on it with this, they might give it some time before going back into it, but maybe not, you know? Maybe they've got some other stuff in the works that already has this K-pop vibe that we'll be seeing in a couple months to a year. Who knows? I'm not on the dev team, I don't know any of this stuff, but I would not be surprised given how accurate it is. I would not be shocked if this is selling well, especially locally, this just fits the vibe and expectations so well that, kind of similar to K-pop Demon Hunters, it's just good music and it works for the general zeitgeist of K-pop fans, I would feel. But I think I've yapped about it enough, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from NIKKE, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!